This is a Storm Watch 7 winter weather alert.
Right now at 7 o'clock, winter whiplash, a monster storm moving through just 6 days before spring.
Snow piling up throughout the region, and thousands of people are without power in our area. The Storm Watch 7 team is on your side this morning, and we have got team coverage from the studio to the roads, even the shore. We'll be taking you there live coming up in just a few moments. First, though, at 7 o'clock, good morning to you. I'm Audrey Godfrey.
And I'm Larry Smith, 7 o'clock here. Breaking news this morning for government workers, OPM operating on a 3-hour delay. Workers do have the option for unscheduled leave or telework. D.C. and Calvert County Public Schools also operating 2 hours late, but they're in the minority. Every other major school district in the area is closed. For a full list, log on to Wjla.com or just watch the bottom of your screen.
Now at 7 o'clock, let's get you over to our dynamic duo in the Weather Center, both Veronica and Eileen tag teaming this morning.
How many more hours do we have?
I don't know.
Right, exactly. I don't know a lot, but we're going to be right here keeping you updated, making sure that you stay safe. And that's the thing about this morning, really. We didn't get a lot of snow, but it's been all about the ice and now about the wind and some of the trees down across the area, maybe even some power outages yet to come our way for later today. Yeah,
we're kind of getting to the point where it's the heart of the storm, if you will, as the area of low pressure really starts ramping up. So let me show you where it is right now on satellite and radar. Follow me, guys. We'll take it over, I think, because we do want to show you where we're dealing with that area of low pressure. But again, we're still dealing with lots of different types of precipitation. That has been the case all morning long. We're seeing some of those higher snowfall totals in areas north and west, as we had anticipated, because that's where the colder air has been. But right here, slicing through D.C., that's where we've had that mix, which has limited some of those the totals, rather. We've got the area of low pressure now right off the Delmarva coast. We're really starting to see those winds increase as well. I'll zoom in to your neighborhood because, as we've been talking about, we're really seeing some of the higher snowfall accumulations in northern parts of Loudoun County up through Frederick County, Maryland, Hagerstown as well. But you move a little bit farther towards the east within the Capital Beltway, we do have the sleet, we have the freezing rain, and also a lot of ice into southern Maryland. And with the winds that are starting to increase 30+ miles an hour, as Veronica was mentioning, we could have some of those power outages. So let's get the very latest with her on just how much more precipitation we're expecting before this is all out of here.
Another trace to as much as 4 inches of additional snowfall is what we could see, Eileen, across the area. Now take a look at where the winter storm warnings are. Frederick, Loudoun, Clark, Berkeley, Jefferson. That's where we could see some of the higher snowfall amounts already. 4 inches there in Frederick, Maryland. Lighter snowfall amounts down to the south and east, like Calvert and St. Mary's County. But even though those lighter amounts are down here, that's where the winds could be the highest later today. Already they're gusting up to 40, could top out about 50 miles per hour. So again, the wind advisory continuing there throughout the afternoon. But slick spots for the afternoon hours. Best driving window, I would say, between noon and about 5 to 6 o'clock today. But then it's back to the refreeze and icy conditions for early Wednesday morning. We'll do it all over again Thursday morning and possibly even Friday morning. We've got a weekend warm-up that's in our forecast, and we'll talk more about that in just 10 minutes. Julie?
Okay, Veronica, on the highways right now, we are checking for a new problem. Southbound 95, as you work your way south towards Dumfries. This is where we have reports of an accident possibly involving a truck. Again, this is on the southbound side of 95. So heads up, we do know that there are a number of plows that are out there treating the highways, but you got to give them space in order to spread out that chemical. But again, traffic moving at a well-reduced speed, which you should at this hour because of the conditions. Down tree reported along 5 over at Bryantown Road. Several reported along 4 near 301. And then southbound BW Parkway for the tree down near 32. That was along the right side of the highway. Again, Metro's green line towards Greenbelt dealing with a train malfunction outside of West Hyattsville. Mark is operating on an R schedule. So look for the R under the train number and expect some additional stops along Mark this morning. Now that's our traffic watch. Back within the next 10 minutes with another update on your ride in Dumfries. Autria? All right, Jules. Well, flakes falling fast across the DMV, and some areas may only see about an inch while others could see a whole lot more.
Yeah, John Gonzalez live in Frederick, Maryland, where the governor has issued a state of emergency. And John, what's the latest in your area?
Well, here in Frederick County alone, Larry, there are over 100 trucks that have been working around the clock last night into the overnight hours and now this morning, trying to stay on top of what is not only a lot of snow, but you've got that freezing rain, that sleet, and boy, the wind is really howling, which is making it even more difficult. Snow drifts could be a concern this morning. Take a look. This is what we've got here in Frederick, Maryland, several inches of snow. And again, like I said, mixed in with that freezing rain, it's creating a problem because once the roads are plowed, well, you're not seeing the asphalt, you're not seeing the road because of that sheet of ice, if you will, underneath the blanket of snow. That right there is Buckystown Pike, Route 85, a very busy thoroughfare here in Frederick, Maryland. Well, at this hour, you can see no vehicles at all. The only vehicles we're really seeing are the plows and those salt trucks. Take a look to put things in perspective as we walk over into the parking lot where we are set up. Look at that snow mound there. That was created, I would say, just to give you an idea, at 5 o'clock this morning, that was not really there. I mean, that just gives you an idea how much snow is being plowed by the hour here in Frederick, Maryland. And this is the parking lot, which was just plowed, I would say, less than half an hour ago. And you can see it is already blanketed. And with the lights, you can really see how that wind is really howling this morning, moving that snow around as it continues to fall here in Frederick, Maryland. Over 2,000 trucks throughout the state of Maryland. Again, over 100 here in Frederick. I'm going to send it over to my buddy Horace Holmes. You staying warm in Leesburg?
Absolutely not. You've got a snow mound. I've got a snow mound too. The snow plows have been very busy out here, taking the snow off the parking lot and off the main roads. Also, this is Route 7, the main drag through the business district of Leesburg, and as you can see, the roadway looks pretty good. But as Johnny was saying, the problem here is the snow and ice, sleet still coming down, and the wind has really picked up. As we flip around and you can take up a look at the American flag, and you can see how windy it is out here. Still a lot of work to be done. This storm, at least in Leesburg, is far from over. Suzanne Kennedy, I want to know when the sun comes out because I'm freezing out here. Suzanne joins us live now from Northwest D.C.
It's no better here, Horace. I mean, I don't have some secret, pathway to the sun. It's awful out here. This is not a cute snowstorm at all. If you're waking up just now, we still got a lot of sleet in the area. Want to just give you a little bit of a demonstration. If you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get outside, I'm going to do a little shoveling, this is what you're going to run into. This stuff is chunky and frozen and difficult to pick up. It's also very heavy. I'm only using one arm here, so I got the mic in the other hand, but this stuff is really heavy. And it's big chunks. It's not your fluffy white snow that we saw during the blizzard last year, although that was difficult enough to deal with. We're talking with some stuff that's already kind of crusty and going to be hard to get up. So if you think you're going to go out and make quick work of it, you might want to think twice and give yourself a few minutes. We're over at the metro station here at Tenleytown. They have got, some pathways cut here, and they have gotten the surface in front of the elevator and the escalator cleared out because there are going to be people who are going to be coming to work and to school. DC public schools start just 2 hours late today. We're right near an elementary school and a high school, and there are going to be a lot of kids getting off this metro and heading to school. So you're going to want to take your times. And if you do have, a walkway in front of your house, or in the case of these businesses, and Brian, let's show them. Here at this Panera, they have cleared the walkway here, but just a little further down here in front of Chick-fil-A and Starbucks, we still have a lot of snow on the ground, and that's where people are going to be walking to get into the metro and to school. So if you do have a space where people are going to be walking this morning, get outside, do your part, shovel the snow out of the way so people have a clear path to get where they need to go this morning. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Suzanne. And we are staying on top of all the storms all morning long.
Yeah, when you think of the beach, this is not what you expect. A live report from a wintry Ocean City coming up.
And from the shore to the sky, the snow is impacting thousands as they try to get to their destination. The struggle for flyers ahead.
Virginia expects this. America deserves it. Yes.
At Honda, we design cars that you'll love to drive, like the Accord. Fun to drive when you're getting away for some me time or even on your daily commute. So hurry in to the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
Test drive the Accord, named a Car and Driver 10 Best a record 31 times.
PenFed's got great rates for Madison and great rates for Washington. PenFed's got great rates for everyone. Great rates every night and day for every town and city in the USA. PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
Introducing the PenFed Power Cash Rewards Visa Card from PenFed Credit Union. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on all purchases. That's everything, everywhere, for everyone.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
Want to know how to make the space outside your home as warm and inviting as the space inside? Come to Great Gatherings Outer Piece Sales Event, where you can get our lowest prices on the finest names in outdoor furnishings. Save up to 60% on hundreds of outdoor furniture collections and accessories. Plus, find great deals inside on stunning billiard tables, home bars, bar stools, and counter height dining sets. For a limited time, take a load off everything you need to play up your space inside and out. Great Gatherings. Play up your home.
Good Morning Washington, where good mornings start. From News Channel 8, you're watching Good Morning Washington.
Hey, it's Tuesday morning. Glad you're with us here. A live look outside. An icy morning in some places as we were covering this winter storm watch. It's covering the DMV. Began snowing at about 6:30 last night.
That's right, and it's still going to keep coming down for the next couple of hours. Let's get a check of your forecast with Veronica Johnson. VJ.
That it will for several more hours. In fact, probably past about lunchtime today. We're still going to see snow, a little bit of sleet still mixing in with this system. And because of all the icy conditions, all the sleet that we've gotten now, we're getting reports of about 1/10 of an inch in some areas. It's going to take a while for it to freeze, and it's not until about lunchtime, 1 o'clock today, where the temperature will get above freezing. So we're going to have to deal with this for a while. More moderate impacts by the afternoon hours. And that's not the only thing. The other part of this system is the wind. As the area of low pressure gets closer to us, our winds are going to start ramping up. We've already seen them at about 40 miles per hour. They'll get just over 40 miles per hour your lunchtime, the midday hour. And then we'll break it down to about 30 miles per hour during the later part of the day. But look at all the pink that we're seeing, and watch the loop here over the last couple of hours. You can see more of the pink getting mixed in with the system. And on the last frame there, it's starting to make its way just a little bit south, so maybe a little bit more snow coming to areas of Frederick, Maryland, already reporting 4 inches. You can see on the future weather, the blue, that's the snow. And what happens after 10 o'clock as the storm moves up the coast, gets closer to us, we get a chance to pick up some more snow. Maybe some areas about 2 to 4 inches just north and west of D.C., and a chance for maybe even some more snow showers. Very light, though, coming our way for the afternoon hours, Julie. Today, definitely cold. Range in temperatures will be actually in the lower 30s across the area and around freezing tomorrow. We'll talk about the weekend warm-up. I know a lot of folks are going to like that with just 6 days left until spring officially rolls in.
And I'm marking the X on my calendar day after day with the black marker. I just keep marking them down. All right, on the roads right now, we got our hands full. New crash is going to be southbound on 28 at the Dulles Toll Road. Police are on the scene of this multi-vehicle wreck. Again, this is going to be on the southbound side as you make your way past the toll road. The toll road itself, the lanes are open, meaning no incident. But again, it is very slick out there, and crews are working to treat the highway for you. So do not try to pass the plow train. Instead, stay behind it and be cautious of that. Southbound 95, we had the wreck reported near Dumfries, and that was causing some slowdowns for those traveling southbound on 95. Again, by comparison, a little bit better now. You can see a little bit of pavement here on the southbound side as compared to the northbound side. But again, these crews are working against the weather, and as soon as they get a little pavement showing, boom, that sleet comes down and covers it right back up. Route 5 over at Bryantown Road for a tree down. We have a number of trees that have been reported along 4 near 301, the latest along the left side of the highway. Now that's our traffic watch. Back within the next 10 minutes with another update on your ride out to the west. Autria?
Thank you, Jules. Well, not a typical beach day today, but Tim Barber still took a trip to a wintry Ocean City. So how is it looking there?
Well, the boardwalk is soaking wet and the surf is rough out here. Coming up after the break, how the storm is affecting the shore. Next.
How can an elephant go undercover to ensure great customer service? Well, by observing undetected. I'm happy to see top-notch service every day. And when I'm happy...
More care, less cost. Discover the elephant difference at elephant.com.
Do you have a clogged drain, dripping faucet, or broken water heater? Call My Plumber. We'll fix it today, or it's free, guaranteed. Call now for our winter special, $35 off your next service.
Call 8664 My Plumber today.
What if we could bring you better value by having better values? At Blue Apron, we work directly with more than 100 family farms. So instead of spending on costly middlemen and supermarkets, we can invest in the things that matter most. Making farmland healthier, cutting down on food waste, and bringing you higher quality, fresher ingredients for less than you pay at the store. Because food is better when you start from scratch. Get $30 off at blueapron.com/cook.
Do you have a clogged drain, dripping faucet, or broken water heater? Call My Plumber. We'll fix it today, or it's free, guaranteed. Call now for our winter special, $35 off your next service.
Call 8664 My Plumber today.
To make sure our customers get the best service, I'm going undercover.
So you can pick it up
tomorrow afternoon?
Morning.
Wow, that's fast.
There's no disguising it. More care, less cost. Discover the elephant difference at elephant.com.
For Metro Safe Track alerts, sign up at WJLA.com/text.
The winter storm is causing inconvenience throughout our area, but it's a lot worse north of us. The National Weather Service's office near Philadelphia calls the storm life-threatening, and it's warning residents to shelter in place. Schools from Philadelphia to Boston are closed today. New York City is under a state of emergency. Major airlines are canceling all flights headed there.
Well, here at home, this winter whiplash stretching all across Maryland, even causing trouble out on the eastern shore. That's where Tim Barber is live this morning. And Tim, spring may be less than a week away, but you sure can't tell there.
Absolutely not. And I've got the beach to myself. Take a look at this. You can see how rough the surf is. Some of the water's coming up about halfway through the beach here. But like I said, the beach is all to ourselves out here in Ocean City. We're going to be monitoring three main things out here. Beach erosion, a little bit of minor flooding could be out along the shore here, and specifically the bay side, and heavy winds. The gusts could be up to 55 miles an hour, so it's not so bad right now. You can see some of the trees and some of the stuff behind me here blowing around a little bit, but right now it's not so bad. It was raining earlier this morning, but that stopped, so we're going to monitor the conditions out here. If anything changes, we'll let you know right away. Reporting live in Ocean City, Tim Barber. Good morning, Washington.
And this storm is making for a travel nightmare. Thousands of flights are canceled across the country right now. And transportation reporter Brianne Carter is live at Reagan National Airport with what you need to know if you were trying to hop a flight today. Bree.
Well, certainly you're going to want to check with your airline if, in fact, you have a flight planned anywhere, because it's not just up and down the Northeast that we're seeing the impacts. Really, this is having a ripple effect all across the country because of the cities that are impacted by this. Take a look here at Reagan National Airport. Really just looks like a ghost town. Not many folks that are here. The good news is Reagan officials tell us that they are working to get some departing flights off the ground later this morning. And we have seen a few folks who have gone up to the ticket counter, checked their bags, and they are heading to the terminal to try and board some of those flights. Now, we do see the ground crews working fervorously throughout this morning, trying to get all of the snow and the ice up off the ground so that if they have any flights incoming or outbound, that they can get those safely in and out of here at Reagan National Airport. Now, on the board, lots and lots of cancellations. More than 5,000 flights across the country have been canceled. And again, we know that there have been operations in terms of flights at areas like Philadelphia Airport and in New York where there are no flights going in or out. So if you're traveling to one of those locations, certainly going to want to check with your airline. So it's not just going to be the weather we have here in the D.C. area that could impact what you're seeing. It's obviously what's happening north of us as well. And again, then with those